Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where it's a madhouse as we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. I'm Todd. I've got Richard and Sean with me, as always. Hello, Richard and Sean.
This beer miracle is so good.
I'm mad at Sean right now. I'm
so
mad at Sean. You have no idea.
We're pulling back the curtain that
we watch videos in between this.
if you have a strong gag reflex, this is going to be where you don't want to listen. But Sean has a love of watching people vomit
who aren't physically sick.
Here are the rules. Here are the parameters. You cannot be sick. This cannot be, hey, I got the flu and I'm truly agonizing. It has to be you're drunk, or one of the videos you're doing
a liquid, or
you're doing a milk challenge. You're doing something. Before Richard got here today,
I'm so mad at Sean.
Todd and I.
Before Richard got here, Sean showed it to me. Now I admit, I thought it was funny, but half of why I couldn't breathe was because Sean. Oh my God! I've never seen a grown man just wheeze and scream with laughter the way I had.
It's because he's a child.
Yeah.
So we take a break.
I do not deny that.
And as you know by now, we're posting some of the things that we do in between the episodes up as what we call in between. I wish I'd been recording it. All you would have heard was
Stop it!
Here's the
Stop
context
showing
of it.
It to me.
I walked away and I walked around Zeus and I'm looking at comic books. I literally wanted to look. I wanted to see what's there. I eventually couldn't concentrate because all I could hear was Richard going, "Why are you doing this to me? Why?" And
if my wife is listening at this point, she will take off the headphones, come wake me up where I'm in, and just punch me for a couple of times. Like, why'd you do that to Richard?
She should punch you.
I've shown all these things to JJ, and she's done this same reaction to me.
Why
are you doing this to me?
Terrible, terrible man.
I am a horrible husband, yes.
I do not want to see people throw up. I don't want to see them throw up beer. I don't want them to get instruction on throwing up beer. I do not want to see people throw up milk.
Why are you recording me?
I don't want to see people throw up chocolate milk or pink milk or white milk or any milk. 2%, whole percent. I don't give a no. I do not want to see people throwing up milk.
okay, can I promise you something?
Yes.
I've seen all the Planet of the Apes movies, and I promise you no one throws up in them.
Oh.
Yeah, you have. Oh. It's not for hermetophobes. Yeah. I mean, this movie is for hermetophobes.
Do apes drink milk?
Ooh.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
I mean, we're the probably as children.
Well, they obviously nurse.
As babies,
yeah,
they nurse
baby
off their mother.
Baby apes.
Nurse.
Yeah, I'm sure they nurse, but as adults, we're one of the few animals.
The more important part is,
but
they laugh when the other ape is vomiting from all that milk.
So that we drink cow's milk. What do apes drink?
Ape milk?
No. I don't continue to drink human milk as I evolve. I drink some other animal.
They weaned off at some point, and then they stopped drinking.
But what animal do you drink off of? Yaks?
They don't.
They drink tequila. They're sophisticated.
They eat ants off a stick. They eat fish.
Oh my gosh. We have to have like an entire research. What do apes eat? Just so we can answer these legit questions.
When I'm assuming they get weaned off, so they quit drinking milk. It's not like they...
But we're the only animal that turns to another animal for a source
to nurse off or to farm off it. Yeah,
ugh, that just makes it gross.
Actually, ants nurse off aphids. They're like a red ant that will actually take little insects, let them eat the food that they want, protect them so that they can take the milk that they have and feed it to other ants. So you
are a wealth of useless knowledge.
We are about to go to The Last Jedi. I'm just saying that entire scene.
And so that we get
with
the
Luke
blue / green milk.
Creature.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Last Jedi, right?
That was
he
Last
drinks it
Jedi.
straight from the teat as well.
I almost want to do that minute just because the animal like turns and looks at Ray and you're like, that wasn't weird.
Okay, fine. Let's make that our next in between. We'll have a little discussion about Last Jedi, and I can tell you that I actually hated the movie. I did hate it.
You hate the movie?
I did, unfortunately.
No,
it's just a mess.
No, I want to pet your head. No.
Okay, so we're on to minute 3. Let's 103. Let's get into what we have to do. Sean, what's going?
We got Cornelius saying that was different, and ends with Zira and Taylor looking off to the left of the screen. And as a minute 103, we've got 2 living humans, 2 dead humans, 1 dead ape, a shrewdness of apes, and a gaggle of humans.
Count? Oh, you did. Oh my God.
No, one dead ape, two. Wait.
Yeah, surely you've done this in your life. You're looking at something and you're sitting there thinking, okay, when is he going to do that? And you're so zoned in on when's he going to do that you're not even listening at all.
And you've driven 5 miles and you go, how did I get home?
How the hell did I end up in my garage? I just had how the hell did I end up in my garage?
So we ended the last minute with Taylor basically, after he kind of binds up Zeus, saying, the way I was humiliated by all of you, you led me on a leash. So it starts off with Cornelius saying, that was different. We thought you were inferior. So they're justifying actions on animals, on races, on things because we didn't think you were as good as we were.
But that's the whole reason that you're supposed to protect something, because it is lesser than you and it can't protect itself. So if you're not as superior as me, I should be protecting you and helping raise you up.
Right.
And instead, they just wanted to destroy them.
That's the way that society should be.
Yes.
But again, this is a condemnation of the behavior of mankind towards another part of mankind.
Towards mankind, yeah, exactly. We're not specifically talking about how humans treat dogs.
Right. We are 100% in the race relation thing at this point. We thought you were inferior. Now
we treated you poorly because we thought you were inferior.
And then Taylor, is it Taylor that says now you know better?
He says now you know better. Cornelius was right, doctor. He turns to Cornelius was right, doctor. Man was here first. You owe him your culture, your science, whatever you've got.
So I don't know that they were this dialed in 68, but so we have in America, we have the slave culture. We extract families from foreign lands, bring them here to be slaves. We treated them as inferiors, and now we know better. And then it goes on to say that man is superior. I started thinking, well, there's even the thing that if you look in historical precedents, that it says that African American type species were here before the Caucasian type species. Are they even going that far as to say we're totally correlating this together? We thought you were inferior, now you're here, and we were superior to you. Are they being that bold to say that black man at this time was more than white man? I mean, does that make sense what I'm asking?
Real quick, hang on. We hear cats, I think.
That's cat fighting.
All right. We're hearing cats fighting outside the store right now.
We don't have cats. I mean, we're at a store, we're at a shopping center.
You have a dog that comes by every day, and you don't have any cats that show up. Yeah.
So are they literally kind of tying this together that they thought blacks were inferior, but now are they being so bold as to say
this is why our rationale is how it is set up?
Well, I mean, are they exposing the fact? I don't know if they even thought that back in '68. That
are you going further into are you still staying on these two sentences? Or
I'm staying just on these two sentences, which we thought you were inferior. Now you know better because Cornelius was right.
Man was here first. You owe him your science, your culture, whatever you've got.
So there's a lot of scientific fact to back up the fact that early cultures of man, early existence of man was more up to the African American subset of existence. Are they being so bold in this script as to call that into fact? Because we're correlating between the two. We're here we are in Planet of the Apes species, and here we are what we're trying to use as science fiction
the
for.
original species of what came out of sub-Saharan Africa versus the apes which are supposed to be man that evolved from those.
Because if they do that, if they're doing that with African American culture,
bold statement.
That's as bold as when they question religion early in the film, and we're all kind of like, "Wow, that's for '68. That's very bold." And I may be drawing in something they weren't.
I don't know, because we don't have unless there's a book out there that we haven't seen or an interview. I don't know.
Well, I think the simple answer is that Taylor finally has a one-up and wants to use that one-up to say that I am superior to you.
Mm-hmm.
He now has the advantage. We have this entire scene with Zeus basically tied to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
All the shots of him are on the ground or looking up at everybody else, right? I mean, they're done in such a way that they're standing up,
he's
and
in the inferior
now prisoner
position,
still, right? He's constantly down at this moment. They don't do a lot of these direct shots up on Taylor to make him look superior.
Right.
But the conversation is such that I really don't know how much of this is what they're saying about this moment in culture as much as Taylor just finally having the
superior position.
This because we know that that's his character.
Yeah.
He felt he was superior this entire time.
And I don't disagree with that. I think that you can have a story on two levels. I think you can have a character that Taylor should have the feeling that, look, I came from a race that had a spaceship that flew here. Yes, it crashed, but things happen. I was of a technological age that's far superior to your wacky ways that you've got cameras and that's about it. However, it's science fiction, and science fiction will illustrate a story so it can point to the truths of mankind, and that's all I'm trying to get at.
Would this line have been different had we seen the more futuristic version of the Planet of the Apes? Had they had the budget to do that?
Maybe.
Because he wouldn't have been able to been on that high horse.
I guess we'll find out in a couple months when the comic book comes out.
Oh, that's true. We
haven't talked about the comic book yet, have we?
No, we can toss it in here that we found out that Dana Gould, and I don't know who the artist is that's working with him, are working from one of Serling's early drafts of a script that was a little more closely in line with Pierre Boulle's original La Planète de l'Singe, or however you say that, to where it's going to show the evolved ape species.
How it should have been with the original script.
Yeah. Right.
As opposed to this, in which which was largely driven by budgetary reasons.
Right. But budgetary, as well as that we wanted to mask what the final twist was.
Fair enough, yeah.
They wanted to make sure that you didn't dial into what was going to happen.
Even the sample artwork they used from this comic book actually had them looking like 1950s,
like
60s
like a
absolutely
Mad Men with apes. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a very good. That's a very good point. But we've tried to bring up a couple of times the ideas of what you can do with the comics, and I think that's half of why I was bringing up what are they trying to say here. This is such a rich world of. It's not just apes, it's not just humans, it's not spaceships, it's not all this. It's what are you saying about a commentary about society? And I think that's what I was trying to get at.
So Zaius continues on, then answer this, if man was superior, why didn't he survive? So, Zaius just said something really big in that moment. If man was superior, why didn't he survive? So, they haven't revealed to the audience the end of the movie, but they're really making it so apparent,
so obvious, 100%.
So obvious. And any question you had about whether Zaius did or did not know
what happened, was he protecting something,
and maybe he's just speculating here. Maybe he's not saying that he knows something at this moment. If man was superior, why didn't he survive? It would suggest that he knows that a human culture
was there
before. That he knows everything that happened in Cornelius's dig site. He was aware of that.
The more this goes on, and I've asked numerous times, what does he know? What is he protecting? And the more this goes, the more I think he doesn't know what's beyond where he is. He's not gone there, but he knows enough to know that it's dangerous to know. I think even his leading questions that will occur in coming minutes will point out the fact that it's kind of like it's his to deal with on his own. And that's kind of why it's almost like let him go. It's I have to get him. I have to eradicate this away from him.
But what does it say about him earlier, mentioning that whatever tribe you came from, you're a mutant, all those things. To Taylor, now he says, if man was superior, why didn't he survive? Like, it just it almost makes those earlier statements irrelevant.
But at the same time, is that him actually wanting the truth? Is he finally...
He's trying to bluff Taylor to prove something that he thinks he knows.
It could be that
Taylor,
too.
He thinks that Taylor is hiding something, so he's trying to draw it out of him. Who knows?
It's that, or is Zaius actually looking for the truth? We talked about this before, that in every story, the great stories of the world are not when we simply draw black and white villains and heroes. The great stories are when even the villains have a quest where they believe that they're doing the right thing. Zaius believes he's doing the right thing to protect the apes. He believes that what the scriptures tell him is that man is dangerous? Is he simply trying to solve the question of, if man was here, then why didn't they survive? If they were superior, why didn't they survive? Does he really want to know it? Or is he using that to illustrate the fact that you can be superior, but your own frailties are what actually make you suffer in the end?
I don't know.